Hello, welcome to another Rotterdam White Scars video. Today I'll be showing you how to paint up the Palisades from the Kickstarter Exclusive terrain set made for the Summerwise and Fire Miniature game produced by CoolMiniOrNot. I'll be showing you how I painted up these fortifications and how you can also paint your fortifications in the same manner. Easy, fast and very effective. Let's get started. So guys, it will be the end result. As you can see, it's quite a good look, especially with all the tufts and all the grass pieces beside it. First thing what you gotta do is clean up your model and spray it with a light color, because we're gonna be using contrast paints. We'll be starting from the top, and I'll be using 3 contrast paints from Citadel: Wildwood, Snakebite Leather, and Skeleton Horde. I primed the model with Raidbone, and also made sure that I covered all the areas, otherwise this contrast paints won't stick, so I did 2 coats. I use a larger flat brush to get the contrast paint on. I use a Scale 75 brush I got in a set a while ago. I normally don't use these, but I've been painting a lot of terrain lately. So first what we're gonna do is we're gonna be blobbing some Skeleton Horde contrast paints on the tips of the Palisades. The Palisades are freshly made, so we'll make sure you have some fresh wood on top of that, and that has a lighter color. Also give it a more natural look by giving it some, it's almost like it has some dirt on it or has some other staining. Just make sure you cover the entire top part of these Palisades, and if you miss some spots, fill them in later. Also didn't want to have any pooling of my paint, so I really took care that I had a careful eye during the drying process. So what we're going to do now, we have some Snakebite Leather contrast paints, and we're going to fill in the middle parts of the Palisades. So this will be the mid-tone. And also make sure that I touch small bits at the end where the Skeleton Horde meets this layer, and making sure that I cover the entire model in the center. It's a bit more tedious than the previous step, because I'm gonna leave a bit in the middle for the darkest color, the Wildwood. This also gives a bit more effect than you usually have with contrast paints. Because usually you cover the entire model with just one color and then blend in others, or have some dry brush later, but that was not the case. I wanted to experiment with this new range from Games Workshop as well, so that's why I chose this method. It looks a bit funky with all the primed bits in between all the Palisades, but now we're going to continue with Wildwood, and this would really show you the effect that the Wildwood gives. It gives a really dark shade and really makes all the loose beams really stand out, or pikes, or how do you want to call them. And I also did this right after I painted the Snakebite Leather, because that way I could use with wet and wet blending and make sure the model looks as natural as possible. It was also a really fun model to paint. As I said in the intro in the video, it's quick and dirty, but I'm not sure if you're gonna achieve a better effect with more hours spent on this model. So make sure you also do the back side of the model. That's the only downside. I always have this with wings on angelic miniatures or demon models or bats. They also have 2 parts of the wing. It's the same with Palisades. There are 2 parts of the Palisade, the back and the front. Also what I try to do is really smoothen it out. And on the bottom part I widened the Wildwood a bit, so the dark also covers the lower parts of the model close to the ground more than others. Now I'm going to use some Screaming Skull. A Screaming Skull is used to get some weathering on there. So it's some slashes and some maybe some chopping going on. So some X-raiders or maybe some battle has happened in front of this palisade. And I also did is I used some green and I washed it in between the loose beams at the bottom and covered the base with some texture paint. Just to give them more worn look. And when you make these kind of scratches, don't think too much, but make sure you're steady, because it's really easy to blob on some paint. But you have to keep in mind that these scratches have to look natural, so you have to keep focused, and that's how it's done. So this will be the end result. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it also helps you paint up your set. Thank you for watching, and thank you for all the patrons that support us. And if you like this video, give a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thank you.